to the Woman's Hustle, Thrills and Spills of Entrepreneurship. It is your girl, Coach K. Y'all know I'm back with another dope session, right? So before I get started, please make sure you have subscribe to the channel if you see my beautiful face on YouTube. But if you are listening on your favorite podcast streaming platform, then I want you to make me one of your favorite podcasts. So make sure that you are favoriting your girl on whatever platform that you are tuning in on. All right. Listen, we are all about talking about the real journey of entrepreneurship, the thrills, the spills, but we also are providing value, insight, strategy, all that good stuff. You know it don't stop. And today's episode is going to be no different. I have Amber with me today, and I want her to tell us all about herself. Hey, Amber.
Hey, Coach K. I'm so excited to be here.
I am happy to have you. I am happy to have you. Please let my listeners know your full name, of course, business name, what you do, and all that good stuff. And we're going to dive right in.
Let's do it. So my name is Amber Gaige. I am hailing from Dallas, Texas, third generation entrepreneur, working mama. Started out with a side hustle that ended up going full time after I was let go from my job 2 weeks before Christmas, about 3 years ago. And what I do now is I empower business owners with streamlined marketing solutions so they can stop wasting money on ineffective marketing and grow their businesses and achieve their goals with simplicity and peace of mind.
Love it. I love it. I love that most of my guests that I have, right, there's some form of similarity that we share. And you just saying that right now that you were let go from your job, that same thing happened to me. And it was like, oh, okay, it's time to step into that purpose. You mentioned that you were a third generation, but you still made the attempt to work in corporate America. But after that, you like, yeah, I'm done. Let's go on and step into this purpose. But I know it wasn't an easy journey for you. So kind of tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, it really wasn't. And I think we grow up with a certain viewpoint of the world, and then we have to find our own voice. We have to find our own path to how we want to contribute to the world, right?
Yes.
And so growing up in an entrepreneurial household, I looked around as a ignorant youth and I thought, this is not for me. I do not want this. I'm going to go blaze my own path. And by golly, I did, because, those of us who are geared for entrepreneurship are geared with a certain amount of gumption.
Yeah.
We're geared with a certain amount of fire in our bellies so we get it done, whether it is for ourselves or for someone else.
Right.
And in that journey, after selling my first company as an entrepreneur, coming full circle and saying, I want to sell my company, and then playing in private equity, and then coming full circle as a mother, about a decade later and saying, you know what? I was crazy to build someone else's dream instead of my own. Because my family comes first. And the light that came on for me was that freedom was more important than money. My freedom, my voice, my flexibility, and my time was all wrapped up into building someone else's company. And at the end of the day, I wanted to build my company, and I wanted to empower others to build their companies so that we could all raise up the next generation of business owners. And so that's what my heart is after going through so many life changes and transitions as women do, personal and professional, it was time to get back to my people and start serving entrepreneurs. And that's what I get to do now. And I love it. I could not be happier.
I can just tell.
And to serve others.
I love it. I love it. The energy is through the roof because you can tell that it's something that you love, right? And you had to go through so many, obstacles. And I think that's something that a lot of us don't realize that we have to do, right? When we're trying to find our voice in the business world, we don't realize that it's not going to be a straight shooter path. We want it to be. We would love for it to just have no frills, no obstacles, no nothing, but it's just not reality. And I even loved on you touching base on building somebody else's dream. Because before 2019, that's exactly what I was doing. I had no desire about entrepreneurship. I wasn't thinking about it. I have investments, here and there scattered throughout, but it never was a full-time passion to say, I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to be a female entrepreneur until 2020. That
Yeah.
was a pivotal moment for me. And I know, you said a few years back that was something that you were like, hey, I'm about to do it again, because not only did you do one business, this is your second go round,
It is.
right? This
It
is
is.
like your second go round. Share a little bit more about that. Like what made you decide to sell it, back then?
Well, it made me an offer I couldn't refuse. Let's just be real.
I get it. I get it.
I mean, there's just certain things that when opportunity comes knocking, we have to comply. We have to pray about it. We have to check our gut. And so a little bit about me and raising an entrepreneurial family, I decided I was going to blaze my own path, and that door got shut really quick. So I came back and I worked in a family business for over a decade. I mean, I worked with my husband, my cousins, my brothers, my parents. It was all family business. And simultaneous to that is when I got to start my first business. So I was still working in a family business, and I had a side hustle. And that side hustle is what I scaled in 5 years. And then private equity came calling, and they said, well, the condition of sale is that you go with it. And now we fold you into a national footprint. And so back in 2018, that's what I did. I love my family, but I was ready to take that step into my own journey in the corporate world. And so I played in private equity for several years. I built national brands. I looked at things from a national lens instead of from an entrepreneurial bottom up lens of trying to scale national. Now I was scaled nationally, and it was all about serving people on a local level. So that gave me two viewpoints, and after doing that, and after seeing where there was a lack of alignment, Coach K, that's where I was like, okay, I can make a difference here. And I can help people to fill in these gaps, because now I know how to speak national to local and local to national.
Right.
All the things that, dovetail in between. So after playing on that national level, that's when I said, okay, hold up. We have got some disconnects here. And I now know that my heart is on a local level for entrepreneurs that are looking to scale in a big way. And big is different for everyone. Maybe big is 10 more customers. Maybe big is selling your company like I did. But whatever it is, there are certain core principles of marketing that serve every business, despite size, despite industry. And that is what my book was about. My book is about protecting entrepreneurs from marketing that doesn't work. And I guess they've liked it because now it's an international bestseller.
Let's go. Because I was just going to say, that's got to be, I already know that's got to be like in there, because that's where a lot of us are, right? That's where a lot of people are trying to find their voice. There are so many, and I know that you had these conversations because you are in the space as well. There's so many that are trying to do like others, right? They see how something has potentially worked for somebody else, and they're trying that exact same method. And unfortunately, that is where the disconnect comes in, because you're not being authentic. People have to remember that when you are trying to start any endeavor, you have to do it in your own authentic self. And because that doesn't happen, people are just like, oh, it's not working for me. It's not working for you because you're not operating in your authenticness. You're not. And I have these conversations way more than I would like to. You know what I'm saying? But that's why it's essential for us to like find and use, because once we find it, we also have to use it. I have no problem being vocal about anything that I stand for, advocating for whatever. I have no problem with it. I wasn't always that person that was clear-headed with it. I was somebody that always spoke my mind, but sometimes I spoke my mind out of emotion. Now it's not necessarily that. I'm able to apply the logic. I'm able to sit back, reflect, really think about things. And that is what has helped me personally really discover my voice in this business world, because I wouldn't have been thought about, like I said, being an entrepreneur. But because I remained authentic, and because I have no problem finding my unique voice, I'm being successful and continuing to scale with that. And I think that that's super important. I love that you even talked about that. empowering others. You even talked about being on the local scale and the international scale. You can see it from both lenses. That's a plus because everybody doesn't have that. So I know that's something that helps you remain unique.
I appreciate that. And you know, the what we have to keep in mind is that our authentic self and our voice will attract like-minded
There you go.
businesses and people to us. You know that old adage, birds of a feather flock together? It is so true.
Yeah.
And the more that we will lean in and niche down into the subgroup of who we are trying to serve as our authentic self, the more we do scale. You just said that. You're living proof to that. And so when you do that, you can charge more because you are the expert in this super niche down area. I have a girlfriend and she is going to blow up this new platform that she is working on because she is all about the midlife female entrepreneur and helping them get a fresh start. Maybe they raised their babies, maybe they're divorced, whatever it is. And this is super niche.
Yes.
And I think we have to just be okay with the fact that not everyone is our customer, but our
That is such a
customers
struggle for people.
love us. It's so true, right?
Everybody
We
wants.
serve everyone.
Yep. Everybody has that mindset of, oh, I want to help everybody. Because when I ask people, okay, who are you looking to help? Oh, I just want to help women. And because I walked that journey, when I started in 2020, that's exactly, oh, I want to help women. I want to help all women. Yeah, that shut me down real quick. Because it's like, girl, you got to figure out who, you know what I'm saying? So really working with who you want to serve.
Yes.
And that's one of the most critical moments. And I really want to talk about that more in depth with you because you have like a specific strategy base that I really want us to talk a little bit more about. And I listen, y'all about to get some great feedback from Amber on here, some great strategic tips. So I'm gonna need y'all to grab you a pen and paper if you don't already have one close, because Amber is about to drop some dope game here on the Woman's Hustle. All right. So Amber, I really want you to share more about your unique approach and how it has helped you, one, scale your business ×2, because you did it twice, but also how it's helping your clients.
Okay, well, let's dig into it because I truly believe marketing should not be confusing or overwhelming. I believe that the core aspect of marketing is that marketing is the fuel in the engine. If sales is the engine, marketing is the fuel. And so I'm about to give you 4 C's of marketing that when you have cohesiveness, there's another C word, when you have cohesiveness across these 4 C's, then your marketing will scale. So number 1 of your C's is clear copy. Who you are, how you talk about yourself, how you talk about your business, what is your story? I have the privilege of being only about one of 600 people in the world to hold a coaching certification in Donald Miller's Story Brand. If you have not read Story Brand Your Business, everybody listening, go get the book. Story Brand Your Business, because your unique message and how clearly you talk about who you are, who you serve, and what you do, that's the foundation to your marketing. So that's the first C, Coach K. That's the first one.
I love it. Come on. Woo, girl.
Okay.
I love this episode.
Like, subscribe. Like,
absolutely. You know.
That's right. The second C is consistent branding. Don't be afraid to wear the pink hat. Don't be afraid to lean into your color, your hashtag, your logo. Be yourself. Spend some time developing that. But don't fall into the trap of putting your branding everywhere and wasting money on places that will not drive you business. Make sure that your branding is succinct, it is clear, it is unique, but then you are consistently putting it out there in front of the people that are most likely to do business with you. And that is the third C, customer demographic. Know your customer. You hit on this, Coach K. You already hit on this. Know your customer.
Yes, it's facts. You have to know it. And we said it, anybody that's going into a business with the I want to help everybody mindset, you are not ready to be an entrepreneur, solopreneur, part-time entrepreneur, whatever it is, because you can't go in. I was just on another podcast and I used Walmart as an example. When Walmart opened all those years ago, Walmart opened up for the average working family. They
That's
were
right.
not trying to gear towards the six-figure makers. They were not. They were looking at the people that had making minimum wage. Those
Mhm.
were their audiences that they were trying to reach. So they were strategic with that. And
Mhm.
people feel like because, oh, well, they making millions and billions of dollars now. Yeah, they were, but they started with an idea
That's
and
right.
they knew who they were trying to reach. So it's so important. I'm gonna talk about that probably every episode. So I'm glad that you brought it up in this one.
So, and then like a modern day general store,
Yeah.
right? Look back at, I mean, that's what they were. They wanted to be an inexpensive place for people to get their needs met at reasonable discount prices. And it has served them well. She
Yeah.
could be any day.
I'm telling you, come on.
Yeah. So let's see. We did the first three. We did clear copy, consistent branding, customer demographic. Okay, this is probably my favorite one and the last one. And the last C of making sure your marketing works is channel management. You got to know who your customer is, but if you can't serve them well again and again and again, then you're going to go out of business fast. So you have to have a sales funnel set up, a repetitive model of upselling, some kind of system so that you can continuously deliver value. Your awesome podcast is a great example of this. People come back because you speak truth, you speak clarity, you give them value again and again and again. So as an entrepreneur, how are you going to consistently serve your customer? Because I'm going to tell you something. On a local level and a national level, one thing rings true, and that is it is a lot less expensive to upsell a current client than it is to go get a new one.
Facts. That is facts. My own experiences have shown that and even though I love to talk and I love the podcast, I love the channel, I know that that is probably one of my most pivotal skills right now. And I'm blessed. I'm definitely blessed from that. But again, it boils back to me finding my voice in this world, really figuring out what was for me, because I started podcasting just because it was something to do during the pandemic. I never in a million years thought that it was something that I was going to scale into and make it a form and a part of my business full time. So being so diligent in that really just helped me really discover who I am and be unapologetic, because I think a lot of times when we are finding our voice, we get very timid. We don't show the confidence that we really want to show. And I'm doing all of that now, but it took me a while to get here. And I really want people to understand that patience is a virtue. You can get to where you want to be, but stop thinking that it is an overnight success. The people you see on social media, they did not have overnight successes. They're just showing you bits and pieces and making it seem like that they fast tracked that. But in all actuality, they did not. And I'm not mad at them how they choose to display their content and how they choose to share their story. You as a certified storytelling coach, you know exactly what I'm talking about when it comes to that. They could have the best marketing tactics in the world. They could have the worst, but you still have to figure out what is going to work for you. What's unique about what you're offering? Because I think we don't talk about that enough either. We got 20 people over here that's selling t-shirts, but what makes you as the 21st person stand out? What is the difference with your t-shirts, and why would I want to buy from you versus the other 20 people over here?
That's right. And you know what? Stanley just did that.
Yeah.
Stanley cups have been around for
It has.
My daddy is a plumber. He had a nasty stainless steel Stanley cup with something we were touching, okay? He took it to the job site every single day with his coffee in it. But you know what? Stanley has now become this fashion trend, and everybody wants it. They made it unique. They're coming out with colors. They're coming out with all these different things. Stanley was just another cup on the verge of bankruptcy until They figured out what made them unique was these designer colors and handles, and now everybody wants them, right? So that, to your point, there is room in a crowded space for everyone
Absolutely.
if you will find that unique voice and that unique path. But you also said something that is so true that I hope your visitors will listen to. You dropped a serious truth bomb, and that is that when we are trying to find that voice, we have to be tenacious and brave, because you're right. We get timid and we think, well, what do I have in the world to offer? And that imposter syndrome boils up. Well, everyone has value. Everyone has a path. And so understanding that it takes time and tenacity, and as we say here in Texas, that grit, you got to have that grit to keep going. That's what makes entrepreneurial women, I think, incredibly special, is that we don't back down in the face of fear. We have to keep going and stay strong.
I agree. Gems, y'all. Gems, y'all. So listen, Amber, I have to ask all my guests about their thrills and their spills on their journey. So if something, a high moment for you, since you have encountered, whether the first entrepreneurial side or this go round now, I would love for you to share with my listeners a happy moment, a joyous moment, something that told you that you were basically doing what it is that you were supposed to be doing.
Oh, you know what? The high moment for me is the simple things. And I am a mama and I'm a boy mom. And my high moment is my boy. And the fact that I get to pick him up from school and I get to take him to school and I get to not ask permission to be with him at field trips. Now, I have to ask off from work to take my kid to a pumpkin farm.
Yeah.
And so that's my thrill, is
Yeah.
that I get to be a part of his life and I get to be there for him. And I mean, he's a handful. He needs every bit, and I need every prayer, Coach K. Motherhood is not for the stay home.
I got you. I know it ain't. I know it's not. I know.
Oh, yeah.
My God. Well, with the thrills, and I love it because I love the freedom that you have, on this journey, because it is so important. You absolutely love that you're able to give that to him. Absolutely. But with the thrills must come spills. So a spill is something that, wasn't really the best moment, or something that you wish didn't happen, or something like that. I always want to be transparent with my listeners when it comes to the journey. So please share with us a spill that you've encountered since being on this journey.
You know, I think the greatest hurdle to entrepreneurship is the risk that we have to be willing to take. And for me, when I had a corporate job, a cushy corporate job, what's with me and C words? I don't know, cushy corporate, this thing, I don't know how to talk.
It's that
about
alignment. It's that alignment.
to be it, right? Consistency. But
Yeah.
anyhow,
Period.
for me, I had always been the primary breadwinner. My husband works, but I had always been driven and been the primary breadwinner. So the spill for me is when I was starting out 3 years ago, and I didn't know if we were going to be able to pay the mortgage. I didn't know if we were going to be able to give our son milk that month, to go buy that gallon of milk at Walmart. And I'm still a Walmart shopper, by the way, and I love me some Walmart. So, okay. But the spill for me had to give up, tighten that belt, and live dollar to dollar and stretch every dime and risk my child's livelihood, risk my livelihood to go, is this worth it? Because let me tell you, I'd spent a lot of years working for people and I didn't get much severance when they dumped me 2 weeks before Christmas. Okay.
No.
That's the reality.
That part.
And to know that I had 60 days severance and my first month off of severance, that hurt to go, what can we sell this month? What are we going to have to do to make sure that our roof stays over our head? And to be humbled like that, that's real life.
Absolutely. That's real life. And that, I so appreciate that transparency, because it all aligns to the tenacity that we talked about, and really stepping into our purpose, because the same thing. I lost my job and it was like, okay, do you find another job or because I'm on this transformation on a personal note, this was a part of what was supposed to happen. Now, was I upset about it back then? Absolutely. I wasn't sure. The uncertainty was so there. But looking back, it is what pushed me to be where I am today. Appreciate you being so transparent with that. And I know somebody's definitely going to relate to that. Absolutely. Because they want to step out, but they're just unsure, and for those that are, because this podcast is geared towards the women who have the vision, they have the spirit, they're on the starting journey, or they're stuck and needing to scale. Give us some insight. What would you, tell that woman that is on any one of those journeys, and just offer some valuable insight for them?
If you truly feel that this is where you belong, stay at it. Be real with yourself. I'm not telling you to live in some kind of frosted glass reality where, oh, it's just going to happen and you may have to get a part-time job while you're scaling your dream. You may have to make some sacrifices and change some things. When the rubber meets the road, it ain't easy. Make yourself a budget, make yourself a plan, be willing to look in the mirror and say, this is what I have to do this month. And it's okay if you have to take a different path than what you thought. And this pretty much guarantee you that path ain't going to look the way you thought it was.
Tell them again. Tell them again. It is not going to look how you want it to look.
So roll with the punches, baby girl. Dust yourself off. Get back up. Keep going. Trust your gut. And know that if this is where God has called you, that He will provide. But it's not going to look the way you think it's going to look, and that's okay too.
Absolutely. Oh, so powerful, y'all. So powerful. Listen, if you are someone who is really trying to discover life's purpose, but also your entrepreneurial purpose, you have to have something that is going to make you stand out, something that is unique about you, your business, your product, your service. You have to know what that is, and you have to be confident on what that looks like for you. Don't worry about nobody else's journey. Don't worry about my journey. Don't worry about Amber's journey. But reach out to either one of us if you need guidance and assistance on helping you market, scale up, amplify, build your entrepreneurial purpose and your entrepreneurial brand, because that's exactly what we are here for. I love that I can communicate and have these conversations with women who might even share similar services that I offer, but it is never competition here. We know that, and I'm so grateful that these women just come on and offer their expertise, but also offer the encouragement and the motivation that we need to be the most empowering versions of ourselves, whether as a woman and especially as an entrepreneur. So, Amber, I am just so loving the conversation, and I appreciate you so much for being here. Please let us know. Tell us about this international best-selling book, please.
Literally, well, it has just been a joy to be on your podcast, and I'm a raving fan. Was already, still am. I love your message. I love your energy and your hope. I love your audience. So this, women build up other women. Yep. There is no room to be catty or competitive when we can build each other up. So that is what I'm all about. Let's build each other up. Let's help each other win. You can get a copy of my book on Amazon. It's the Far Beyond Marketing Guidebook, How to Stop Being Duped by Bad Marketing. You can order it from my website, farbeyondmarketingguidebook.com. But I would welcome any reviews, any feedback, because this is supposed to be a slimmed down version of marketing that you can read over a weekend, get your highlighter out. It gives you an appendix in the back. So if you're in a meeting and someone's trying to sell you something and you don't know what it is, you say, hold up, and you've got your appendix for what SEM, SEO, and ROI actually stands for. It's meant to be a pocket guidebook, and I hope that it will be a blessing to anyone that needs just that guide to help you know how to market.
I love it. And where can we find you at on social media?
Look me up, Far Beyond Marketing, Amber Gaige, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok. I'm all over. I try to be everywhere.
Y'all know I'm going to make sure I put those links in the podcast notes section so you guys will have access to that. Amber, Sis, thank you so, so much for bringing your energy, bringing all of the vibes today, because this has been an amazing conversation. I know my listeners going to be like, yeah, you had a great energy, yeah, great vibe. I absolutely love it. And this is exactly why I do it, not only just to be an inspiration for myself, but to inspire others to be the most empowering version of themselves as entrepreneurs. So thank you so much for being here. Y'all know where y'all can find me at Coach K Transforms on all platforms. But the best way is to make sure you have subscribed to the Upgraded Mindsets Media channel so you do not miss any episodes of Empowering Real Talk, which is the other podcast, The Woman's Hustle, live stream, short form content. Upgraded Mindsets Media is providing you all of that, all to help you on your journey wherever you are in that. All right. I appreciate y'all so much for tuning in. Thanks again. Share this with a friend. All right. And we'll holla back, y'all. Bye.